We are good to go. Alrighty, good morning, evening, afternoon, night, however you want to do it. This is the inaugural episode of the HellGuard podcast. Today I'm interviewing SkullX1121.
What's good?
Alright, I guess start off, tell us about you. You know, what do you do? How do you do what you do? You know, tell us all about that.
About me, well, I stream COD pretty much. That's about it. I make content with my viewers. I don't have any set people on my streams and my YouTube videos besides Husker, Dark, Care Bear, and Sliced. We just make funny content. We love playing with our viewers, and we just all have a good time and laugh too much. I mean, I feel like the numbers have explained themselves in the past week. I mean, I've jumped up from being at 18, started this thing, and jumped up within a week to what am I at now? 120.
I think 119 was my last check, but I'm not real certain.
I want to say I hit 120 today, and I was very grateful for it.
Congrats.
Thanks.
So what made you decide to stream?
Probably just like having nothing better to do, and it always, because like I think every kid has had that dream once in their life, you know, like, yeah, we're gonna get on camera and we're just gonna be famous. And I feel like that's what started it all, was that dream, and plus just getting bored one day and saying fuck it, let's do it, and just jumped into it.
And why Modern Warfare?
Growing up, COD has always been that game. COD has always been my number one game, without a doubt. Plus, I mean, it's what was available at the time. It's what I was decent at, and it's where I made the most friends.
So, why don't you tell us a little about because I've seen you play, I've played with you. Where do you plan on going?
What do you mean exactly on that?
Like, let's say in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
Where do I see myself? Well, I don't quite know yet. I've been kind of going with it day by day, but if I had to choose, I mean, I would love to still be doing this in 5 years and seeing where it goes.
Do you intend to continue streaming? Is that your goal at the moment?
That seems like my goal at the moment. From the positivity that it's brought, and the fact and the friends that it has brought into my life, like, I feel like this has been a really fun experience, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
No, absolutely. And your whole brand for your entire stream, your whole brand is pretty much just positivity. I mean, literally, the name of most of your streams are Ride the Vibe.
That's actually a funny story.
Why don't you tell us about that?
I was very angry whenever I made that motto. I was very angry. So I was playing COD by myself, and I was playing with two people called Gibbity. His name is Gibbity Gaba on Twitch, and me and him were playing together, and I was trying to get Nikolai on the Battle Pass, because ever since Black Ops 1, Nikolai has been my favorite character out of the entire COD series. And like, whenever like I finally got him, I had very mixed emotions, because like I had gotten absolutely dogged on that game, but I had finally gotten Nikolai, and I was very angry. And so I put on Nikolai the next game. I was using that operator skin, and like everybody was like, "You sound so like angry. You sound so jacked. Like, are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine, but ride the vibe, baby." I pulled out the FAL in hardcore and fucking started one-tapping kids, beaming them. And I'm like, "Do you want to know why they're losing? Because they don't have the Nikolai skin. They're not riding my vibe." And like everybody was dying laughing, but nobody knew that I was actually very angry that entire. Like, I was screaming at the top of my lungs, and it was like 4 a.m. and I'm sitting there fucking yelling as loud as I can, "Ride the vibe, baby, let's get it!" Just absolutely demolishing little Timmy in the back of the corner on the Piccadilly map. Like, it was such an angry introduction for my motto. But ever since then, like it's brought positive vibes. Like I said, I've made a lot of friends off of it, so I've just kept it. Like it's definitely wild.
Speaking of the Piccadilly map, you're most played. You play Search and Destroy more than anything else. Is there any reason for that, or is it just your preference?
I think I play it because like one, that's where you meet the most people with mics, and that's been so much fun and so helpful to my channel. And two, like there's a lot of angry people on Search and Destroy maps, especially on core more than hardcore. Um, there's so many angry people that are in those lobbies. So whenever like you jump in with a positive vibe and like you're saying like let's get this, like let's get the dub and all that, and you're hyping everyone up, the enemy team just starts talking so much shit. And like whenever you dog them, or like whenever like you beat them, and like it's in a complete, like you could let them win the first round easy, but like once you come back and make it like a 5-1 and they're all so angry, all you got to do is be like, ride the vibe, baby, and that throws them over the edge. It either throws them over the edge or it makes them ride the vibe with you, and either one is perfectly fine with me.
Having played with you, it's the amount of people who will sit there and talk shit after every round, especially on COD. I'm gonna be honest, not pleasant.
Exactly, and like that's what I'm saying. Like whenever you jump in and you're like, let's ride that vibe, they don't know what to do with themselves. They're like, is this really COD anymore?
Absolutely. But no, as I was saying, your whole brand is positivity. Like every 5 minutes of your stream, it's thanks for joining. Hope you're having a nice day. You've said it to almost every single one of your competitors. And first of all, that's fantastic. Enjoy that. But do you ever think there's going to be a point in time where maybe not your outlook, your whole, oh, I hope you're having a nice day, but just how often you say it's going to change?
How often I say it, will it like, what do you mean, like, will it change? Will it change, like, somebody's day, or will it change, or what I say?
No, just how often you say it. Because like I said, you say it about after about every round. Every round.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna change, because that's just that's where I'm at with COD. Like, there's no point in getting mad at it anymore for me, because like I remember like being little and being that squeaker on the mic and just saying words that no 13-year-old should ever say, and like, oh God, were those the fucking glory days? Don't get me wrong, but like, I guess at a point it just became like sincere. Like at first it was sarcasm. It was me being like, yo, I hope you have a nice day, you shitbag. And then it just kind of formed its way into like being like genuine. Like whenever I said it, it was like, yeah, I actually hope that you're having a nice day. And like, I guess people hearing that, they were like, oh yeah. And like whenever they join my stream, like I've had people that joined my stream that was on the enemy team, and they'll be like, thank you for the ride, thank you for saying ride the vibe, or thank you for saying I hope you're having a good day, because like they'll do that and then they'll friend me after, even if they were talking the most shit. Like I've had people that like have talked so much shit to me in a lobby and then join my stream, and they're like, yeah, and I'll be like, yo, thank you for joining, I hope that you're having a nice day. They'll be like, we're on the enemy team, you dumbass. I'm like, oh well, yeah, I hope that you're still having a nice day. Like it doesn't change. I mean, everybody's a person in life, and I feel like everybody deserves the equal introduction and equal rights at the beginning.
Absolutely. So like we were talking about COD, and you said that was always your game. What was your first video game, if you can remember that far back?
My first video game, either the first Assassin's Creed or Halo 3. No question.
Okay. Now what's your favorite video game?
Call of Duty Black Ops 1. No question.
Do you ever plan on streaming something other than Call of Duty?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've actually been looking for a horror game on the PlayStation Store, or even like on computer, for Christ's sakes. Like I'm down to play whatever, and like I was watching my boy Gibby Gaba his stream last night, and I was also watching my boy Big John Diesel. They were both streaming last night, so I stopped and said hi to each of them, and they were each giving me ideas for Spooktober. I mean, they were each giving me different game ideas. So actually, what I was in the middle of doing before this, right before I called, was I was looking at video games for this Spooktober season.
Alrighty. So horror games. That's your next go.
Hopefully, that is my next for this month. Yeah.
Hopefully before. Hopefully before, October is up. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. So how about talk to me about some of your favorite plays, your favorite rounds.
My favorite rounds?
Absolutely.
Like in COD or Search or what?
Just overall.
Favorite plays.
What do you think some of your, I know you have clips and stuff. Talk about some of your best clips.
Some of my best clips. Say no more, my friend. So I remember playing on the map Vacant. If for those of you that don't know, it is the map that reminds me of, I guess, like a warehouse or a school in a way. Like it's the one with all the hallways, the bathrooms, and then the big warehouse on the side that would be a bomb side. Well, I was the last one left alive, and it was a 1v2. So I ended up, the dude rushed at me, and I had nothing but a pistol and the new SPR, or the R700 as most people call it. And I kind of no-scoped the first guy and then jumped around the corner, and the last dude was laying on the floor, and he shot at me and missed, and that was his downfall because I looked down and just blasted him with that fucking barrel and just defused the bomb, and that was the round over. Like, easy one of my favorite rounds, because like I have it clipped on TikTok, and I know I've shared it in our Discord, but that's easy one of my favorite clips. I also, what gave me a little bit of fame on TikTok was a clip that got taken down, and I still don't know to this day why it got taken down. It was a shot in Warzone that was over 970 meters, and it was a headshot of all things. Like I was sitting over by airport. I was on the outskirts of airport on the hills, and shot a dude on the high building in downtown and downed him, and then got the kill for him later. But that clip got taken down. I plan on reposting it. I just got to do some like actual work on it because it was a really long ass clip. But those are probably two of my favorite clips from Warzone and multiplayer itself.
So I know we talked about what made you decide to stream and everything, and you also discussed, just how you just played with a lot of your viewers. Tell us about the people that you constantly play with.
The people that I constantly play with. Well, they're really annoying, but I love them. Like, believe me, Husker is a very common one that I get asked on my streams. Why does he keep coming back? Because as mean as he gets whenever he plays, he's fucking hilarious. Like, there's no way that like anybody cannot laugh at that dude whenever he's mad. He sounds like a fucking 5-year-old on the verge of crying, and it is probably one of the most wholesome and funny things that I hear. Because like that man right there, like he gets genuinely angry at the game, and I can't blame him for it. I know that we all have at one point, but for this man to start squeaking like he does whenever he gets mad, and like just start talking the most shit, and then whenever that voice crack hits, oh, I can't anymore. Like, I physically have to stop playing that game, and like I will set down my controller but keep my headset on just so I can hear him squeak and then him yell at me for not moving. It is the best. If y'all ever get a chance to play with Husker, don't move but keep your headset on. You won't regret it.
Alright. yeah, let's talk about your streaming, your schedule. What is that about? You play. It says 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day except for Sunday. Sunday is 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. What's that about?
That because at first it was going to be a weekly thing. I was just going to do it one entire week of me doing nothing but streaming, and then on the sixth day I asked everybody in the Discord and I asked my chat midstream. I was like, yo, after this I think I'm going to drop it to like just once a week. How does everybody feel about that? Everybody got so angry at me for that. I genuinely wish that they wouldn't have gotten as angry at me about that, but they were like, no, we love, like, we want to see this content every day. Like, this content daily makes some of our days. And I'd actually ended the stream that night, and I was walking my grandmother home, and I had gotten a message on Snapchat on my phone. I had gotten a message from 3 different people saying, thank you for the content, you don't understand how much this helped today. And like, just people, like, I've even had like, for those of you who don't know who Renek Distra is, he's really popular on TikTok and he's getting really popular on Twitch. He actually joined my stream at the end of that day whenever I was asking that question and said, yo, keep up the content, I love the work, this is funnier than most of the shit that's on TV nowadays. And Lord behold, I was playing with Husker that day, and he was just like, yo, who's the kid? Do you play with him all the time? I'm like, yeah, I do. And he's like, oh, keep him in your videos, he's funny too. I'm like, oh, thank you. I might. But, and I guess, like, watching, like, someone with that kind of Twitch account, because that's 4.7 thousand people on his that follow him and that watch him on average. Like, I've joined in his streams and I've watched him for almost 3 months now, and like, for him to stop in on mine saying that it was on his recommended playlist on Twitch, and for him to stop in and laugh and say that he enjoyed it, and then getting 3 messages from people that I've never spoken to before but watch my stream, and for them to message me and say, you don't know how much this helped with my day, and just me stopping in and like saying hi and all that, and hoping that everyone has a good day. They were like, you need to keep this daily, and I'm like, fine, that's what I'm doing. So I hopped on the next day, and I had about 12 viewers watching. I was only at 80 that day, I think, or 80 followers, I mean, but I only had 12 people watching, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this daily. 2 days later, I hit 100. Or actually, it was a day later, I hit 100.
I remember that.
Yeah, because I was yelling on my mic once I hit 100.
So let's see. So those are your current exploits over your streaming and everything. Let's go. Let's take it back a couple steps. Let's talk about some of your younger exploits.
All right. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I can't have you on here without talking about the sword story, but we can save that for later too.
Oh, I will gladly listen. There's no need for that, but I will gladly share that story. Let's see. How should I dive into this? I mean, you were there for it.
No, I know I was. For anybody that is listening, watching, however you want to do it, just an update. Skullix is my brother.
Yeah, this is my older brother, and he's one hell of a guy.
But anyways, so let's see. Let's go. Why don't we start with Man. Let's see, there's that time we snuck out and almost got shot. That was fun.
We cannot dive into that conversation.
Oh yes, we can.
I mean, if we want to, we can, but I mean, I feel like we would need EMAC on the podcast for that.
Let's see. We might be able to get both of them. So we'll save that for
Are
later.
you talking about Estes on the podcast as well?
I mean, why not?
Oh, no.
Not for you?
Well, yeah, but I mean, we can, but that story is gonna get jinked. Oh.
Alright. So let's see.
I mean, if you want to get EMAC on the podcast, we can talk about it. And then if you want to get Estes in here, we can talk about the sword story as well.
Oh no, we'll do the sword story today. How about the
Right.
do you remember the kunais?
Oh, the kunais. Listen, I had gone through a phase and decided to go to our biological father had taken us to
No, the kunais in the backyard.
Oh, the kunais in the backyard. Oh yeah.
Yeah, throwing them through the fence.
Yeah, oh my god, we're such delinquents living. Oh my god. So how that story went was me right here, my buddy, my really good buddy Tyler, and one of our best friends growing up. His name is we'll keep it censored until he wants to be released, but his name is Emac. We'll call him that. Basically, my buddy Tyler had bought some throwing stars.
Emac wasn't there for that.
Emac was there for that the second time.
No, I'm thinking of the time when I had a bunch of people over.
Oh, yeah.
That was the same day as the sword story, if I remember.
Yeah, it was.
So we can.
It was the day after, so we can loop it into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, anyways, where was I? Growing up, we had this weird what should I call it? Obsession with sharp objects.
I mean, as boys, who doesn't?
Yeah, that's true. But we had quite the obsession with them. So my buddy Tyler bought these throwing stars and kunais, and we decided to go ham on our fence. Like, I'm talking about, like, throwing it once or twice or even, like, 10 times wasn't enough for us. We wanted our fence to look like a fucking sponge with the amount of holes that we put in the thing.
It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were like a total of 6 people there, counting yourself and I.
And we were going ham.
7. There was 7 there. I remember this.
We were going absolute batshit crazy on that fence. Like, I'm talking about, like I said, throwing it once or twice or even 10 times was not enough. So, oh my god, we ended up making that fence. We ended up taking chunks in the fence pretty much at one point that day, and just throwing shit into that fence. We ended up getting in quite a bit of trouble for doing that too.
Yeah.
But we did. I did. I know.
I never did.
Yeah, that's because you left. But I ended up getting in quite a bit of trouble for, like, and it wasn't even like it wasn't even like, you know, being a teenager having very sharp objects that aren't supposed to be in a teenager's hands. It was tearing up the fence that did me in.
Oh yeah.
And I was in the fucking doghouse on that one because and then. So I had gotten in a lot of trouble for it. My buddy Tyler, and it was still able to stay the night. I still don't know to this day how. My parents loved him for a little while.
Well, because we didn't even stay the night there.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We ended up getting picked up by our dad, and
not to mention the I found an old, like, metal tipped wood handled spatula. And it had been sitting outside long enough that the wood had started to rot. You remember? So
yes.
we broke the handle off and started using it as a kunai, and it stuck. And it
looked like if SpongeBob went like Rambo on something.
And the hash slinging slashers come to life.
Yeah.
And it put a good sized hole in the fence, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So it got that, and then flash forward a couple hours later, It was just 4 of us.
It was me, you, Tyler, and what was that one kid's? Oh, I feel bad.
We'll leave it out for the moment. Just because I haven't talked to them about that. So, anyways, but so we go to you and I's dad's house, and at the time, I mean, it was like what 20-minute drive.
Yeah, it was a 20-minute drive into Warrington from where we lived.
So we get there, and me and my friend, who is the one that we haven't named, me and my friend are sitting there on the couch. Were we watching TV or were we playing video games?
Y'all were playing video games because y'all got tired of looking at our dad's sword collection.
No, this was before. This was before because you two went back there and found it.
Yeah. Y'all were playing video games. Me and Tyler were snooping around the house for shit to do because there were only 2 controllers on the Xbox. And we were just being dumb teenagers. The more I really think about it, we were just being absolute retards. And we ended up walking back there and found my dad's old sword collection, which I could have swore the man got rid of because we hadn't seen those swords in I don't know how long.
It was a little bit.
Yeah, it was almost a year. Because he had our little sister, and I thought that he got rid of them. But whenever he moved into the house, I guess he left them out, and sure as shit we found him, us being nosy kids. So me and my good old buddy Tyler, we were like, yeah, this is really wild, teenagers being around a bunch of swords. Like, this is probably the dopest shit that could happen for us. Like, and so we're all hanging around, and we go and we call my brother and his friend back there, and we're like, yo, look at what we found. So we're all sitting around looking at swords, and they finally get bored of looking at the swords, and me and Tyler, get the bright idea, sword fight. Let's go. 100, like, full send into, like, this sword fight. And I remember I had a European saber, and he had a Japanese tiger head sword. And
No, don't be getting stuff confused. I remember how that went. You had one of them, and he had the other.
No, I had the saber. I didn't have one of the swords. But,
no, anyway. If I remember quite distinctly, you had one, he had the other, and so the 2 of them take the swords, and they're sitting there, like, physically actually acting out these scenes from Hello, Big John Diesel, welcome. But you two were
having a good day, man.
You two were sitting there physically, like, reenacting sword fights from, like, childhood memories. And these tiger hook blades go up and then they curve down at the top. And the handguard is pretty much in their blade. There is no handguard, there is no pommel handle. It is literally just blade and a wrapped handle. And the handguard is, like, thin. It's about the thickness of the blade itself. And it just comes out in a little square. So, if I remember quite correctly, you had one, he had the other. You two strike, hook the blades together, and then Tyler comes down with his blade, comes down and catches you on the hand.
And the craziest part is that at first we didn't notice. We just saw blood on the floor, and at first we were like, where did we get cut from? And I thought he got cut, and he goes, no, Tristan, you're bleeding. And my brother goes, you're bleeding. And my brother's friend goes, you're fucking bleeding. And I look at my hand, and I just see above, like, right behind where the knuckle, where your thumb begins, I look behind it, and there's just this gash. And that's whenever I guess we realized that Tyler full on stabbed me in the hand with a sword. Like, it was on accident, so I'll give him that much. But this is like this could have counted as an assault charge. Like, I was stabbed pretty bad. Like, a Band-Aid was not gonna fix me. But we were fucking freaking out because of all things we didn't want my dad to find out. So we run into the bathroom. We start trying to wash off my hand just to see how bad it is, and you can see where the cartilage and whatnot was, and how like deep of a gash it actually was. It actually went from where the start of, or almost where the start of my hand is, from my wrist, almost all the way up to my knuckle on my thumb. And like, we're sitting there freaking out, and my brother, being my brother, he was the responsible when I was such a little. He goes and gets my dad, and my dad comes in, and he's
Thank
like,
you,
"The
fucking
fuck?"
queen.
And he goes, "The fuck did you do?" And I'm like, "Well, me and Tyler had a sword fight." This man says, "You dumbass," and just starts laughing in the most like disrespectful way I've ever like felt, and like felt so stupid, and like I started crying, and I couldn't tell if it was from the pain or actually feeling like mentally slow at the time for thinking that was gonna end well. But anyways, us being us, my dad was like, "We're not gonna take you to a hospital. It's not that bad." And so we ended up putting super glue on it, or we washed it off with hot water and alcohol. And whenever I say alcohol, like I don't mean like rubbing alcohol. Like this was alcohol.
Was it in a bottle of Crown?
Yes, it was. And so we poured a bottle of Crown on my hand. We super glued it together with Gorilla Glue, and left it. And it took almost 3 months for it to heal. But that's not even the end of the story. Let's get into the part where y'all burned the back of my head.
This was
that was the day after.
This was the day after. I had like, I did my my course, my driver's ed course, so I could, go get my. We were like, I was 15 and you had like just turned 14, or maybe we weren't there just yet. And so like, I'm just getting my permit, and come back. My friend has gone home. Tyler's still at the house, and so our dad leaves. He goes to work, and let's see. So these two proceed to sneak out of the house, and you were gone for what, like 2 hours?
We were gone for 2.5 hours. We had walked from our house almost 4 miles up the road to a Dollar General, a Whataburger, and back. Walking down the, what was it? It was the highway.
I think so.
It was Blue Angel Highway. We had walked all the way down that with traffic being heavy as shit, and back. And then bought Vaseline eggs, Whataburger meal, and a bunch of other. We ended up buying dog food because we ended up playing cup pong, and the person that lost had to eat dog food. Just saying, I'm not the one that had to eat the dog food.
Amongst other things.
And like I said, I'm not the one that had to eat the dog food. I'm just saying, don't challenge me in beer pong. But, anyways, so then we get bored and we decided to light hand sanitizer on fire. Just doing stupid shit. God, we are such delinquents. The more I talk about this, the more I feel like a delinquent. We light it on fire. My buddy and I finally get done with it all. I'm like, I get bored of it. So I put mine out, and I went to go put Tyler's out. And my brother and you had made the mistake of swiping it whenever I went to go blow it. And on my neck, the left side of my face, and the back of, and all the way to my neck, just covered with hand sanitizer that was still on fire. And it ended up catching the back of my neck and the bottom of my hair, and continued to burn. And so there I am, panicking on the floor. There's Tyler laughing his ass off, trying to help me. And there's the same thing with my brother. He was giggling a little, but they were still both trying to help me. And I was so fucking angry. I was like, fuck you guys are assholes, y'all are bullying me. I'm sitting there bawling my eyes out. Just mortified because I had just got set on fire. And so I run into the shower, tried to take a cold shower, like hoping that the burns weren't that bad. That was the most painful shower I've ever been in. And like, God, our excuse wasn't even like the excuse that we said to my mother wasn't even that good. It looked like it looked like a hickey gone wrong, pretty much. It looked like I took a Dyson 360 vacuum to my neck and held it there for like a solid 30 minutes.
And we were over at our dad's house, who we don't see that often, so, you know, some kind of ball, whether it be a kickball, the soccer, football, anything like that, nowhere in sight. And as far as cans go, they were all filled.
So yeah, there wasn't anything that we could lie about it to be on. Like we couldn't say, oh yeah, like, you know, we were playing with a toy and we scraped it on my neck, or I fell and scraped my neck, or some shit like that. Like, so no, me and this genius on sitting here talking to y'all, me and this genius decided to like tell the lie that it was a rug burn from a towel. And let's just say that lie didn't work out very well. My mom still thinks to this day that I was doing something I shouldn't have. And I actually still have like a little scar on the back of my neck from it.
Oh yeah, it was great.
It was, I don't know what you're talking about. That was terrible. I never want to experience that in my life again. Like I was so scared and in pain at the same time. But looking back on it, all I can say is wow, you're a dumbass. So I mean,
and that's just one instance on a long list of reasons you're a dumbass.
But yeah, God, that was a day. That was such a weekend.
I think out of all of the birthdays that we've had, all the stuff like that, that had to be definitely the wildest.
Oh yeah, for sure, without a doubt. Like we've had some pretty fun parties on the birthdays and everything like that we've had and celebrated. But I don't think anything will compare to our birthdays being like that ever. Like even whenever like I turn 21, I still don't think I can like go out and go to a bar and be like, oh yeah, no, this was a wild night compared to like, you know, whenever I was 14. But God, we did so much stupid shit that night. We weren't gonna underage drink, so instead we drank raw eggs.
No. That was you and Tyler, 100%. I had no partake in that.
And my dumbass friend, and we just shots of raw eggs, and the only reason to this day that I can think that he convinced me to do that was for protein.
I was happily sitting my rear end in the chair watching Archer instead.
Yeah, and I still to this day can't think of a reason why I did anything like that.
Speaking of Archer, television shows, what do you watch?
I actually don't watch a lot of TV. Whenever I'm not on stream, I'm down at the beach.
All right.
Like,
yeah, what do you do off stream? Tell us about that.
Well, whenever I'm off stream, I like to find a nice way into either the beach, because I live like not even 5 minutes from the beach. Like I walk down to my beach. Like I walk down there and just sit and think. I like to fish, and like I don't really hang out with anybody, especially now that I live in like a very secluded area per se for myself. I don't really talk to a lot of people. The most people that I talk to are on stream, and so I guess the only thing that I can say that I do off stream is sleep and fucking go to the beach. I mean, only two things I really do.
Yeah.
Play piano, I guess. Like I do play the piano off stream whenever I get bored.
You ever think about bringing it on at your stream?
I actually did. It was my third stream and I brought it on as a skit. We we were doing sing-alongs. We were doing karaoke to whatever I could play on the piano, which was a total of like 6 songs.
Absolutely.
So like any time like anyone died and it was like the middle of a search round, instead of like anybody like yelling at each other, all we were doing was singing "All of Me" by John Legend at the top of our fucking lungs.
So let me ask you a question. If
Oh wait, hold up. Before you ask that, anybody for everyone that's watching, y'all are more than welcome to ask me questions as well, because I know I've been asked that I have not gotten around to answering.
Please do. I mean, if you weren't streaming, what do you think you'd be pursuing right now?
Auto mechanics or the military. And I do have high respect for everyone in our military. I'm not one of those people that are like, they do nothing for us. I'm also a very big respect for, or very mad respect, I should say, for Blue Labs. That is something that I've always supported. That is something that I grew up supporting, and that's something that will never change about me. I understand that there are bad apples, but I won't change my prospect on people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Auto mechanics don't. What sparked your interest in that?
This ugly ass, or it's two things. This ugly ass 1996 Chevy Cheyenne, and also this ugly ass 1999 Land Rover. Those are probably the two things that perked my interest in auto mechanics. And I just want to say I'm glad that one of them is gone, because there's no point in paying like prices for a BMW whenever it runs as long as a Dodge.
Out the ass is what you'd be paying for that.
Yeah, you pay literally just about the same price for what you get for a BMW, except it lasts the same amount of time as a fucking Dodge transmission.
Like,
and I'm not hating on.
How long did that thing sit there?
Let's just say long enough that a rat built a nest in it, and so we just hauled it off to a junkyard.
Like it sat there for years. I mean,
4 years.
Had to have been longer than that, but
yeah, it was. But that's as long as I think of where it sat and nobody touched it at all.
Absolutely. God, that thing sat there forever.
Yeah, for real.
So then oh, it's funny. So my first car was a beaten up, shouldn't be running 1994 Jeep Cherokee.
I don't care what you say. That thing was a tank. That thing could have lasted, like, we drove it without oil, and it lasted longer than most cars.
Oh my god.
People didn't drove after that. That's not even, like, we didn't even replace anything for that. It still drove.
You know it still runs, right?
Yes, I know, and it's fucking wild.
Like, that thing broke down. What was wrong with it the last time?
It was the battery and the alternator. It couldn't keep a stable connection.
Yeah, when it broke down on me. And then I get my new car, so we hand that over to back to our grandmother, and then like a week later, get news: hey, it's up and running again.
That thing has the life of like Mike Tyson. It's not gonna.
What were we up to? We were up to 698,000 miles on it.
Yes, and for some reason the thing still started up better than our mom's truck.
Absolutely. It only took one try to start that thing up. The Suburban takes like 3.
And I still to this day cannot process how, but
oh no, I mean it sat there, like, it died on, it blew up on me once. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah, I did.
There was a There was one day I was sitting in the, not to disclose so as to not, I was sitting in the parking lot where I worked, and a couple of my friends had come and met me there. It was after my shift, and so I'm sitting there showing off my new car, because I just got it, just got this thing. Everybody's excited about their new car, whether it's an old one or a new one, who cares? It's new to you. And so we're sitting there in front of my car, and I had cranked it up because I put some fancy stuff in it and everything, and we just let it run. I mean, it didn't, as far as gas goes, I mean, it was getting 18 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
So it's me and two of my friends are standing out in front of my car, and then all of a sudden you just hear hissing start to come from the engine block. It was just faint enough that you couldn't really tell it was coming from the car. You couldn't tell it was coming from the Jeep. It sounded like there was a snake sitting under the backside. But turn around, and a few minutes later you just see this huge, it was a 1994 Jeep Cherokee, and it was an automatic drive. Manual locks, manual windows, and the windows might work half the time. There was a hole in one of them.
Nope, there was a hole in the front passenger side.
There was also a hole in the floorboard on the front passenger side.
Yep.
The headliner, we tore the headliner out. There was no headliner. Seat covers.
That's because it sagged more than Betty White.
We put seat covers on it because the front driver's side seat is a different color than every other seat in the vehicle.
It looked like a fucking dog went ham on it.
Straight up, you could see the reinforcements for the chair that was busted. I drove in that chair for what, a good month?
Yep.
And let's see. But anyway, so we're standing in front of this car, and the engine's on the other side of the car. We're standing behind it. Hissing starts, and all of a sudden it stops, and we turn and look, and just a huge puff of just white smoke, just boom. One of the nice ladies that I worked with had come outside after seeing that and asked what happened. It turns out that one of the hoses, the rings around it had actually busted open, fallen off. The hose clamp had busted off, the hose fell off, the harmonic balancer was all out of whack, and so there's just this vehicle here. Immediately after it just blows up on me, I go turn it off. Lady comes out, is everything okay? It's nobody's hurt. Car blew up, but that's about it. So I call Dad. He comes, picks me up, picks up the truck or the Jeep later, and yeah, we get it fixed up that weekend. Just replaced a hose, fixed up. I drive it to school the next Monday. Good time.
That car is gonna last easily until 2025.
That car is gonna last longer than we are.
Exactly. There's no way that thing's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean,
whenever be sad to see it go and all, but I'm gonna be finally.
Well, I mean, at last check, like I said, it was sitting at almost 700,000 miles.
Yeah, for real.
Literally, Jeeps made before the late 90s, early 2000s were literally built to last. I was
introduced to the Jeep by driving it through a fucking window, right? They drove it through a window. I'm not talking about an average house window. I'm talking about a building complex window, one that's supposed to last high-speed winds. That was how they introduced the Jeep.
Yeah, it was great.
I miss it. There are days like it'll start raining out here, or even just like when it starts raining, that's when I really miss the Jeep. Because even though I took it off roading like once or twice, I always just I just wanna go, you know.
Do we have any questions so far?
Other than just the question of what kind of car it was, no. Well, I mean, there were a couple that got answered. I would love to hear questions. Anything, honestly.
Anything that you want to ask me or him, even if it's there is limits, but even some personal questions. I'll go ahead and answer one that I get asked a little bit. Is do I have a political stance? And that's something that I will never answer on my stream because my stream is not politically valued at all. I mean, I run a gaming stream, but if y'all want to know my actual personal preference, and I hope to God, because I've already lost three friends over this, which I think is stupid because I won't even be able to vote this year. But my stance is on Trump, if I'm being quite honest. But we're not going to get into that. We're going to leave it at that, and just know that my stance on Trump is based off political view and nothing personal, because I don't judge either one of them on their personal view because they're both terrible options in that case. And another thing is I'm dealing with the cards dealt. It's not like I want Trump or Biden either to be in office. It's because that's what we have to choose from right now.
So, I just got a question. Big John just asked me when the last time I cut my hair was, and I'm currently trying to pull my hair tie out right now. The last time...
When was that?
4 years ago? I think.
You seem to be lagging a little.
And Flacca Queen just asked if I can grow a beard. I can. It's difficult. The places that I have chosen to work and the place that I still choose to work at, when I'm not in college, does not allow me to do such things. Unfortunately. Otherwise, I totally would.
Yeah, and then you got me over here that shaves just that way I can feel special. I call people while I shave. I don't know what it is, but I'll call someone and they'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm shaving. You're about to listen to this fucking faucet." like I don't know what it is, but I'll call people whenever I go to shave, and I've gotten to the point where I can grow a beard now. I shave it off so that way I'm like, "Oh yeah, baby face. I'm feeling good."
How much do I spend on hair product? Believe it or not, I don't buy hair product. I buy shampoo and conditioner, and I buy the big bottles. I might spend $10-$20. Get the big bottles of hair or conditioner and shampoo, and it'll last me a good 3-4 months. Using it's a Suave coconut oil infused. Does the trick.
Could you say that one more time, just more like ASMR-ic?
Which part?
The Suave.
Fuck Queen asked if I game. I do game.
He plays with me. Get your own. That's mine.
I do play with my brother quite often. Anyway, and I'm always looking for people to play with. Most of the time I play PS4.
Same.
I do have... Oh, no. I do have a couple games on Steam. Not a whole lot. My library's not that impressive. Actually, let's see. Let me pull that up real quick. But for the most part, I play on PlayStation. You can find... my PlayStation name is actually the exact same as my Twitch here. So, Shouldn't be too terrible.
Hold up. While you're pulling that up, I have a question for Big John if he's still in here.
I do believe he is. Go ahead.
Big John, when are me and you gonna play Warzone together? I got invited to your Discord and you've shown my stream a lot of love and I've reciprocated it, but I want to know whenever we can collab. That's all I'm saying. You know? Like, if you need me to play a tournament with you, I mean, I just dropped a 15 kill game. So, I mean, like, the choice is yours, my guy.
Oh, I'm single.
Ladies, he's single and ready to mingle. Y'all need to go talk to him.
But no, I've got 156 games on Steam. A lot of them were just a bunch of free-to-plays that I found, played for like a few minutes and didn't like. Big John answers your question saying, bro, I'm always down to game.
Tell him, okay. Big John, you need to message me on either Discord or on Twitch, and we need to collab. I'm thinking today.
You know, I could always do that.
Okay, hold up. You want to know what... Okay, so I have not been in the best mood today, and you want to know why? I'm going to answer this because I've gotten questions on my stream about this. Why was I not in the most positive mood today?
Tell us, why haven't you been in a good mood today?
Ooh, say it like that one more time real quick. Hold on.
Why haven't you been in a good mood today?
Alright, I'll answer that question for you. So everyone that plays COD and Warzone knows the 16 Halloween challenges to get this new Growl. Yeah, I completed it, but guess what I don't have?
The Growl.
Exactly. I completed it and won the game that I completed it on, and I still don't have it. And I've been very upset. I'm like a lost child right now without that thing.
Big John says, brother, I'm not even good at that game. I'm trash. My response is, you're better than I am, and that's all that matters.
Until you've played with our good friend Care Bear on Warzone, you can't call yourself trash. If Care Bear ever beats me in a game of S&D, one, I'm gonna give her props. I'm gonna give her massive props. Two, I'm gonna end my career. I'm just saying. Like, I love her to death. She's a really good friend, and she's here for value because I value her. But it's mostly comic value. I'm just saying.
John responds, I'll tell you what, brother, let's play together. I'll give you mine to play with. I'll drop it on the ground.
Say less. I get to use that bait. Say less.
But yeah. But no, I do play, and like I said, my PlayStation is also at HellGuard 4263 minus the at. Don't know why. Just watching. Let's see. I have, like I said, I have about 156 games in my library on Steam. I plan on playing a couple of them. I've got a couple horror games in here. I do plan. Well, I've got like 2. I plan on playing that. Care Bear says challenge accepted, to which John responds, hi, don't end his career, I just met him.
Good. All I have to say is good luck. Love you and all, but good luck.
You know, man, Hapatheo, welcome. Get your own fucking waffle. I don't work there anymore. So tell me, you stream daily. You obviously only sleep and this.
Yeah, I ended my stream early for this, and I just want to say I'm not regretting it. I'm enjoying this. I've never had to answer questions like this without majorly judged.
Yeah, Care Bear says it's Oh, I was going to say can't be worse than me, but it's personal now. To Happy Theo, yes, I am in my dorm at college. There are people screaming in my hallway. I don't know if you could hear that, but I could. Don't know what that's about. Hope not to find out.
Oh, it's all good until shots ring. I mean, yeah, I'm not allowed to say that anyway.
No, it's really funny actually. This is not the first time I've just heard screaming coming from down the hall.
Roommates don't like each other already? Wow.
Okay, Sam, now that you've outed yourself, yes, I knew who you were. Trying to keep your animosity, fucktard.
Wait, Sam who?
My buddy Sam from, what was it, middle school? High school?
No.
Anyways. Yeah.
Any other questions? Like, believe me, I've never had to answer questions before, and I hate answering questions, but, like, I'm down. I'm actually excited to answer some of these.
So Flocka Queen asks, when I picked this top, and you can see it, and she asked if I did it to bring out my eyes, and do I wear shorts or pants? My response, I am wearing pants, I'm wearing jeans, and a belt, like a respectable gentleman, with an undershirt. My entire wardrobe is nothing but Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, he wears nothing but Hawaiian button-ups. So, ladies, you're going to love him. If he wants to dress up for the movies, he has special ones for that, too.
Alright, Sam, I'll see you then. Doubt? Oh. I haven't folded my laundry, though. But I have, with me here at the college, I have 2 button-ups that are not Hawaiian, 2 t-shirts that are not Hawaiian, and 7 Hawaiian shirts that I wear constantly. I do my laundry every 6 days and wear a t-shirt and sweatpants when I do my laundry so that I can have a Hawaiian shirt for the next day. That was rather detailed.
Yeah, well then,
Oh, doubt on the pants. Yeah. What are you wearing right now? Brother?
well, me, my good sir, I am currently wearing a nice pair of jogger pants, like sweatpants, but they're joggers, with a pair of beach shorts underneath because I don't know what happened. I woke up late this morning and I ran to go do my stream. Forgot that I was already wearing my clothes for today. Because I had woken up earlier to go down to the beach and watch the sunset, came back home and passed out. And woke up around like 1 o'clock and I was like, holy fuck, my stream needs to be on. So I jump out of bed, get up, and threw on joggers and came in here, sat down, and wondered why it was so hot in the room. And
Let's be honest, you just threw on a shirt.
No, I'm actually wearing a shirt and a hoodie right now.
Oh, it's hot in here. Let me put on a hoodie because that makes sense.
The hoodie does. Listen, the hoodie. This is part of my. This is part of me. Okay, this is me right now. This thing stays with me. If a girl wants to say, "Yo, let's go out on a date," I'm like, "Okay, let me bring my hoodie." If a girl wants to say, "Oh yeah, let's go on a vacation down to fucking Africa," I'm like, "All right, let me bring my baby with me." They're like, "What you talking about?" Hoodie. No question. This hoodie is part of me. I could get into a bathtub ready to take a shower or a bath and be like, I forgot my hoodie.
It's your version of the Venom symbiote.
Exactly. This thing will never leave me until I have to wash it. Then it leaves me for a solid like hour and then I put it back on.
John asks if I can prove that I'm wearing pants.
Prove it. Prove it. You have to prove it.
Look, I'm too fat to be that flexible, but I can stand up.
Yeah, just stand up. I was gonna say, bro, you're 6'6".
Yeah.
Look at them.
Pants.
Look at them thighs in them Wranglers.
I think they are Wranglers. No, they are Wranglers, actually.
I
They are 100% Wranglers.
exactly, Wranglers for life. Can I have this gun now? I restarted my game, by the way. I just want to see if I can get this gun yet, or if I'm too much of a like just talking about it. Nope, still not there.
No gun for you. Because I'm a fat ass. Care Bear asks why my thighs are bigger. Because I'm a fat ass.
Don't let him lie. He never skips leg day. That's exactly what it was.
No. Brother, I weigh 300 something pounds.
Dude,
I don't leave my room unless it's for class or food.
It's crazy how much me and you are different because I've actually lost over 30 pounds.
I wish I could lose weight, but I'm too lazy.
I actually weigh 145 now, and I'm 6'4".
Yeah. It's not great. Oh, there was one night, recently, it was like earlier this week actually, straight up, it was like 11:30 at night. I just got done, like, doing a teacher interview for some of my college courses. I decided I'm going to go for a walk around the lake. My school sits right on a lake. And like I said, it's 11:30 at night. No big, for me, no big deal. I mean, like I said, 6'4", 300+ pound dude. Ooh, John asks, how long have you been gaming? We'll get back to my story in just a second.
Me or him?
John asks how long you have been gaming.
This is actually kind of a tough question to answer, but like, I've been playing video games since I was like, what, 7 or 8?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty certain. I mean,
even a little bit before that, because we played on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, you and I started on the GameCube. I mean, that was the shit back then.
On the GameCube and the PlayStation 1. Like, the original PlayStation. Like, my gaming career, like, I guess, like, career, whenever I say that, means, like, playing online and playing with people and against people, was PlayStation 3 on Black Ops 2. That would probably be as early as I can say my gaming career has been, and I've actually played in 2 tournaments for gaming. I've played in one for Battlefield 3, and I've played in one for Black Ops 2, and I didn't win either, but I've come really close. I placed 6th in Battlefield, and I want to say I placed 14th in Black Ops 2 out of God knows how many people.
Yeah. I mean, I've been gaming about the same length. I definitely play more casual than I do anything else.
I play like a challenge every now and then.
I have played with you. You definitely do not play. I guess your casual would be a casual person's ranked or challenge or whatever.
That's just my skill-based matchmaking doing its job, baby. That's all.
That's bullshit. Every time I play with you, you sweat.
I do not sweat. Listen. Whenever
the amount of crack jokes that I hear when I'm playing with you are less than the amount of crack jokes that you can get when you see a crackhead.
I'm so confused what you mean by that statement.
Me too. I was just kind of trying to roll with it. You didn't have to do me like this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, just like the amount of jokes that are actually cracked when I've played with you are little to none.
Well, because you off screen whenever we play, and that's whenever like I finally just get to enjoy the game for playing it.
And, like, the only thing I hear when I play with you is just call outs nonstop. And then the round ends and it's just nothing but shit talk back and forth for a good 30 seconds.
Not. Hey, listen, that was only whenever we played against Husker. I do not shit talk that much, if any.
Big John Diesel gives us a fun fact. He's been gaming for 1 year.
Oh, that's insane. And like you've grown, that's wild. Like mad props to you, man.
I've got a fun fact that I just remembered.
What?
The amount of video games that I've actually played from start to finish. Let's see. Diablo 3. Portal 2. Far Cry 5 I just beat a couple days ago. Spider-Man, not the DLCs though. Bree Goodies tells you hello there, Skullex.
What's up, Bree? Glad to see you on this stream. Like I said, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far.
So let's see. Yeah, I've played about 5 games start to finish, and definitely the one that I still continue to play now is Far Cry 5. I do Outpost Master every now and then.
I have a good question for you.
Ooh.
Good old. What is your favorite game?
My favorite game.
Yes.
Let me add a 6th one to that list. So I played The Outer Worlds, which apparently is not as big as I remember it. So Oblivion. I don't know if everybody's heard. Oblivion released. They worked with Bethesda for Fallout New Vegas. And last year, or was it? Yeah, it was last year. Late last year, early this year, one of the two. And they released The Outer Worlds, which is basically...
I don't mean to cut off your story. I will be right back. I'm just going to go get me something to drink real quick.
Go for it. So The Outer Worlds was basically a... I'll let him know when he gets back there. So The Outer Worlds was like, imagine Fallout in space. I mean, that is literally the best way to describe it, is to describe it as Fallout in space. You follow the storyline, and it is one of those things where, like, every choice you make changes how the story ends, and this, that, and the other. There's multiple endings. I only got the one, and then just decided I don't want to play anymore because I screwed up. But as you go through, you're fighting what they call the Board, which is a group of large companies that have basically bought these planets called the Outer Worlds. They're as far out from... And they're as far out from planet Earth as we've gone, and your character was on the ship called the Hope, and the Hope got lost, quote unquote. The Board, kind of just stuck it there and left it marooned. You've been frozen on the Hope for about 1,000 years, and you're waken up by a mad scientist who's like, I'm going to wake up everybody on the Hope, and I'm going to need your help. It's a pretty decent game. I advise, if you haven't seen gameplay of it, or if you want to play it yourself, I heavily advise. That's as far as my favorite games go.
Did you hear me?
What'd you say?
That's that I am back, by the way.
Oh. Let's see. John says, never mind about playing, you sound like a beast.
What do you mean? Wait, what?
And I quote from good old Big John Diesel. Tell Skull never mind about playing. He sounds like a beast. Laughing emoji. Rolling on the floor emoji.
Yeah. And in that moment, I realized I fucked up.
The risk I took was calculated, but boy, am I bad at math.
For real, though.
So, My favorite game. Yup. Outer Worlds definitely has top spot on my list right now. Spider-Man PS4 is a definite close call, though. Definite close call.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Well, Big John, it was nice to have you. Come back either sometime in the next week or sometime next week. Actually, sometime next week, because I'll be out of town for the next 3 days. So, sometime next week I'll have somebody else. Give it a watch. And Skull, he takes you for the invite. We're sitting at about an hour and 15 minutes now. Is there anything else you want to spot out? You want to throw out anything like that? Oh. John asked who would win in a fist fight, me or you. You.
I don't know, man. You're a little intimidating, not gonna lie. I'd say I'm just glad that we're more friendly now than we were whenever we were kids.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When we were kids, I beat the shit out of you all the time. Now, that's actually a rather good question. I wouldn't want to find out the answer, but it's a good question.
Yeah. I'm not big on wanting to find out the answer, but I mean,
if it came down to it,
I have. Everyone wants to have their hopes set on them, but part of me still thinks that you're gonna kick my ass in a fist fight. But I mean, fuck it.
Who knows? But like I said, we're sitting at about an hour 15, almost an hour 20 now. Is there anything you want to throw out there?
Not that I can think of. No.
All I can say is I know most of you here are from Skull X's stream, but if you haven't watched his stream before, check it out. It is it's Monday through Saturday 1 to 5 and Sunday morning 2 to 4, right?
And I will be streaming as soon as I get off of this because I had to cut my stream early, so I need to make up for the time.
Alrighty. And check us out on YouTube. We'll be throwing it on there just as the recordings. Watch for any streams I have on video games. Watch for any streams he has on video games. Maybe I'll get him off COD for one day.
You can get me on a video game for Spooktober, man. I'm down. I'm just saying, I'm down to play whatever.
I'll figure something out. And with that, we have our show for the evening. Thank you for joining us. Have a nice rest of your day, evening, morning, night, however you want to go about it. Bye-bye.